Hello everyone, my name is Gerard Furi, and today I would like to give my humble opinion about the karmic nature of music and how our careful discernment about what music we listen to can be incredibly valuable to your spiritual progress. So I was actually a little bit hesitant to make this video topic for quite a while because me as a personality, I don't like to be a stick in the mud. I don't like to ruin people's fun, and I definitely don't want to tell people what to do. I just don't like doing that. But at the same time, I think it shouldn't be understated how karmic, how powerful the karmic forces of music are. And as a society, music plays a very large role in the karmic direction we are all moving at an emotional, psychological level. So I haven't heard many people talk about this, not even spiritual teachers. So I think it's good that I at least share and put this out there, and people can let me know if they agree or not. But to start this topic off, and to clarify why I think it is so important, if you start going to the gym, let's say you want to get really fit and strong, one of the first things that the trainers and successful gymmers will tell you is that it is 80% or so, it is around 80% diet that's going to give you the results you want. It doesn't matter if you go to the gym for 3 hours a day. If you drink too much beer and don't eat healthily, you're not going to get the results at the gym that you want. And it is actually very similar for meditators. First of all, with food, that's true. Meditators put a huge emphasis on eating sattvic or healthy food that makes their mind feel clear and fresh, which is why they eat so much vegetables and fruits. And spiritual people tend to go vegan with their diets or close to vegan simply because it's lighter and more sattvic. But food isn't the only thing we consume. Psychologically, of course, we consume a lot of TV shows, which is a topic for another day. But one of the most karmic things we consume is music. So I totally encourage you to listen to music, but what I'm encouraging most of all is a careful selection and discernment about which music you listen to. I also want to make the distinction between simply hearing music and enjoying it. So that's a subjective feeling inside of you, but enjoying it would mean dancing to it or bobbing your head to it and just generally vibing with the music. If you just start to notice this topic, which can be very fascinating, I find it very, very fascinating when I started meditating on this topic and noticing it in daily life, how much music is in most people's lives all the time. So if you go walking through a shopping mall and go to different stores, you'll notice all the stores are playing music, and the themes within those songs can vary a lot, from romance to heartbreak to rap to contemporary house music, huge variety of music, and they all have different vibes. Most people also, you'll notice this, I'm a bit strange in this way. My friends, I think, some of them think I'm a bit strange for this reason. When I get into my car and drive somewhere, I don't put on the music. You know, it's a bit more modern. Today we have Spotify, but if, for the past 50 years, people would get in their cars and just turn on the radio and just listen to, pretty much whatever comes up. And at workplaces, people would put on the radio whilst working and just hear all kinds of music floating through the room. A lot of people, of course, they work. If you work in a retail store, you might not have the choice about what music is being put through the speakers, and you might really like that music, or you might not resonate with it. And if you don't resonate with the music that's played at your workplace, that can actually be very uncomfortable. And perhaps in that case, because music is so karmic, you'll notice that the themes that are played there can actually make you sad. And really, what I want to encourage is that we don't just blare music into our psyche all the time. We don't need that much music. And when we do listen to music, let's carefully select high quality songs. So what is a high quality song? Really, it's anything that you select and think is healthy for you. It can be, of course, in the most extreme case, something like kirtan, which is about singing about God, or it could be gospel, but it could be anything else. It could be instrumental music as well that just has an elegant vibe to it, or an energizing vibe that feels healthy to you. It could be songs about romance and about praising love. I found some of my favorite music is actually about falling in love. And I love playing my bass guitar to songs that just, something like Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys. A really high, just positive song. But also when I was in university, sometimes I would need to work long hours on an assignment or studying for an exam. And in those cases, I actually found that heavy metal helped energize me for long periods of time to just keep awake and focused. And there's this band called Russian Circles. They're a instrumental heavy metal band. I found they were quite nice because then you don't have all those perhaps very dark themes that tend to accompany heavy metal. So I was being discerning back then, even though I didn't understand this topic very well. If you like heavy metal, perhaps you like all the heavy drums and the distortion of the guitar and the thick bass lines, the low down deep bass lines. You can listen to heavy metal, but choose a band that's lyrics are healthy and not all about darkness and depression. I hope this topic makes sense to you already. It's not super complicated. But again, coming back to the theme of enjoying versus simply hearing it. So if you are at a workplace and your colleague is playing music, there's no need that we throw too much of a tantrum about them playing unconscious music. Or something that happens a lot for me is I'll get into a car with my friends and they'll play something I don't really like. He's a good friend of mine. He likes Tupac. And I don't really resonate with the lyrics that Tupac sings about. I think it's ultimately glorifying drug dealing and the gangster lifestyle, which I just reject as being foolish and not conducive to spiritual enlightenment ultimately, not to be judgmental. And I also just don't really jive with that feelings of the music, the vibe of it. I don't like it. But I don't even mention it. I just let my friend play the music, but at the same time, I don't allow my nervous system as such to enjoy it. You sort of put a little shield around you to just say you're hearing it, but you're not worshipping it. Now, this topic of worship is very interesting. Most people, I find, they don't understand what worship means. What is worship? And I would say it's when you are dancing to, your nervous system is engaging with a certain energy. So this might sound a bit dramatic, but if you go to a club, perhaps you just want to have fun with your friends, but you go to a club and there's a rap song that's glorifying drug dealing. If you're dancing to that and enjoying it, that is at a very, almost the deepest way, the strongest way rather. It is worshipping that energy of drug dealing. But if you're dancing to a song about Krishna, the classic Hare Krishna Kirtan songs, then you're literally worshipping the energy of Krishna. So it's very, very powerful what music we discern to choose and then what we worship through that. And music can be very, very energizing. I think if you're a meditator, you can use it to your huge advantage, but at the same time, we need to be conscious about it. And I don't think it's good to get in the car and just instantly turn on music and not even pay attention to what it is. When we're working, I think music can also be great to energize us and perhaps to stimulate the mind. I really like listening to taiko, for instance, when I'm programming. It just seems to help me problem solve and be creative with whatever I'm doing, and it helps me be focused, and it connects me to healthy emotions. So you no doubt have bands that you enjoy, and really, this topic is something I want to express, but if you're deep into spirituality, I think you already know what I mean. I would just like to conclude this topic now by saying, if you do enjoy music a lot, what can be really great is to actually learn a musical instrument and deeply engage with music. The more deeply you engage with a song as well, so learning an instrument so you can see how the song is actually changing and shifting and what elements it is made of and how each of the elements is making you feel. If you engage with a song more deeply, you can see the karma associated with it and you can more deeply engage with it. So there you go. This is a video I've had the thought of making for a while, and here it is out there into the world. I just want everyone to know that I usually encourage you to enjoy your music, but I also encourage you to be discerning about what exactly you're listening to, and particularly what energies you are worshipping through the music you are listening to.